Picks of the week.
This is a little bit more fun than signing contracts. It is two video games for Xbox 360, two Xbox Live titles. Both, I think, are like $15, so they're nice and cheap, and they're 2D side-scrollers for the classic platformer that still lives inside of you. The first one is a brand new one that came out this couple weeks ago, actually, I think. It's called Dust and Elysian Tail, or Elysian, I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's a side-scroller, and it's $15 on Xbox Live only, and it's very interesting. It's sort of like Metroid meets Zelda meets Rayman Origins.
Okay.
Graphically, it's the watercolor, hand-painted, hand-drawn, animated, like cell animated, in kind of an anime style, but not quite. More of a watercolor like that, like Rayman Origins. But the gameplay is much more like Metroid, with a sword, not a gun, because there you got the video. So you can see how it's very much like an arcade game where there's a lot of hack and slash and combos, and the object is to sort of rack up these big XP bonuses by doing all these combos without getting hit and breaking the chain. There's very interesting gameplay in there. Some of the characters in the story are kind of cheesy and corny. You'll be hitting next, skip through a lot of the cutscenes. And some of the boss battles are over way too fast and kind of a letdown. But it has it has that Metroid kind of feel to it of exploration and retreading your steps in a 2D environment. But unlike that, it takes a cue from the Zelda series by having these sort of RPG elements, these non-playable characters who give you quests and missions, and if you like go and you retrieve these items for them, they'll make you a new special sword or something. That's the first one. That's called Dust. And the other one, if you get into that and you like this kind of 2D platforming, is one called Shadow Complex. It's a couple years old, but it still holds up graphically. It's more of a lovingly recreated duplicate of Super Metroid, but done in a photorealistic, real-life style. Less science fiction-y, more with like real humans and a real like military. I think it's an industrial complex. Literally, you're like going down through. There you got the video going. So it's a guy. He's trying to save his girlfriend. He's going in through the underground caverns by this foreign army that he's uncovering this whole thing. But basically, it's Super Metroid. You're jumping, you're doing double jumps, you've got projectiles and super foam guns that upgrade. You can see it's like Metroid, but photorealistic, HD graphics for the Xbox 360. I had a blast with both of these things. So if you're a fan of those old platformers, try these out. They both have demos. They're both very cheap. I think you'll enjoy these.